Hi everyone, Patty, Mommy and Me Crafts here with what I want to be a mini album tutorial. So it is so difficult for me to do tutorials on things that I create because I kind of just eyeball it and then I start stitching or decorating and I forget to write down measurements and things like that. But for this one, I planned really hard and tried to prepare everything ahead of time, and I think that it just might work. So I'm going to record this and see how it goes. So I am in a mini album YouTube hop. It is being hosted by Rachel Talman. She's Paper Ventures on Instagram and YouTube, and there is a load of super talented crafty gals in this hop. I can't wait to see what everybody has come up with. So basically what Rachel, the guidelines that she gave us was just create a mini album and share that. And when I first started, I thought that I would start with she told us about it in June or July. And I was like, oh, I want to do a summer mini album and like a vinyl shaker pouch and like a little beach bag, and it was all summerish. Well, by the time I actually started working on this project, I was so over summer and I had moved on to Halloween. So I wanted to create something fun for Halloween. Some of you may do December dailies, and some of you may do October dailies or October occasionalies, or you might just want a Halloween mini album. So I have some that I will be sharing because I actually did two. I did this one and another one, and that'll be in another video, the actual hop video where I'm just doing like a project share and showing you what I've created. But anyway, I wanted to show you how to create this one before I put everything together and decorate it all and all of that good stuff. So this is really simple. It's inspired by this mini album that I received from my friend Amy. She is Fairy Kisses to You. And so last year we had a Halloween swap that was insane. It was 13 days of spooky frights hosted by Cat Paper Love, and it was just an amazing swap. So she sent me this gorgeous Halloween mini album. Isn't this just so stinking pretty? We both used this paper collection here. I can't even remember. Alice in Halloween in Wonderland, I think, is the actual name of the collection. I think it's from Graphic 45. So she sent me this mini album, and I just thought it was brilliant and so simple but so interactive. So it has this little flap here. You open it up and you have this page here, a little pocket here, a pocket here on the side, and a photo mat, and then a pocket here, another blank page. So that's one insert kind of, and then this is a second one, and it's basically the same thing. The flap, blank, pocket, pocket in the center, pocket in the back, and then again nothing here and nothing there. So stinking cute, and I just love this so much. So I was like, I'm gonna try to recreate it. I checked to see if Amy had a tutorial on it, and she didn't. And so I started to try to recreate it, and then later she told me that she had followed a tutorial for it, but by then I had already started on mine. So my measurements are, I guess, a little bigger than Amy's actual measurements. My book is going to be a little bigger, but I'll link the tutorial that she followed. I'll link it in the description box as well, so you can get that as well. And then so let me pull all of this apart and we'll go over measurements and how to put it together. Okay guys, so I have deconstructed the book so that you can see what I have done. What I did was that I used this chipboard that comes in, actually Christina from KG Crafts sends this when she sends paper in her packages, so that's where I got this chipboard from. So I used that and just lined it with some black 12 by 12 cardstock that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Something that I regret doing on this particular mini album is that I didn't cut up this chipboard, so I didn't leave that gap between the spine and the front and back covers, so that creates sort of a little bulge in the lining. So if you want to avoid that, just to make sure to leave a little gap between the spine and the front and back cover. But in this case, it came out pretty good. It's black. It doesn't really show up, so I'm okay with it. I didn't have to start all over. So what the chipboard measures is 10.5 by 6 1/4. And I will put these measurements in the description box. I scored it at 4.5 and at 6 to create the spine, and then I lined it with an 8 by 12 piece of paper. So these are my little notes to myself. So the chipboard is going to be 10.5 by 6 1/4. It's going to be scored at 4.5 and at 6 to create the spine. And then the outside, this black piece of paper that I lined it with, is an 8 by 12. And then, what does it say here inside? 6 1/8 by 10 1/4. Oh, okay, this is going to be the piece of paper. So this paper right here that I'm going to line the inside with is 6 1/8 by 10 1/4. And again, these measurements are odd measurements because I just eyeball it. So once I eyeballed it, I went back and measured it to see what it measured, and that's just going to give you your lining for the inside, and it's going to leave a little bit of border all the way around. I didn't score the inside. I figured I would just tape it onto the base and then just kind of mold it and fold it and try to get it working like that. So that is going to be your base, your liner, your outside liner, and your inside liner. And again, these are the measurements in case you want to screenshot that, but I will put it down in the description box. And then let's see, this is the measurement for the hidden binding that I use. This is the piece of paper. I scored it, and that's going to go here in the center in the spine to create the binding. So the measurements for this right here, it's a 3.5 by 6 piece of paper, and I scored it at every 1/2 inch. So I score it at 1/2 inch, at 1, at 1.5, at 2, at 2.5, and at 3. So that's all the score marks that you're going to get, and basically, like I said, it's just scored at every 1/2 inch, and then you're going to create those folds. Okay, so then you're going to create those what they call valleys and mountains. So this is going to create 2 hinges for you, and that'll go in here. So we've covered the base of your mini album. This will go in here, adhered to this. We'll adhere, we'll glue these all together and put it here, and then we'll start to construct the pages. Okay, so far we have our base and our hidden binding put in. I do like to, I think it's called miter, these edges on the binding, just so that the pages slip on easier. So that is the base of our mini album. And what I've used to adhere all of this, I love how sturdy it feels. It feels so good. And then once you add in all of your pages and layers, it's going to be even more sturdy. But what I used is some Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, and then my double-sided ATG gun, and that should be really good for holding it all into place. And then all of this is going to be the pages that are going to go attached to this, and that will create our mini album. Okay, so to create the pages that go in here, the base pages, you are going to need paper that measures 8.5 by 6, and then you just fold that in half, and you'll need 4 of those to create the inside of your mini album. And what you will do on each hinge, you will connect 2. So here are 2 of the 8.5 by 6, and I will adhere these to the to this hinge right here, and adhere this to the hinge. When you are adhering it, you need to make sure to decide if you want this center to be a pocket. I want it to be a pocket because I want it to be like the one that Amy made for me. So you can choose to make it a pocket where the items will slide in through the side, or you can choose to make it a pocket where the items will slide in on the top. So you need to make that decision when adhering these 2 pieces together. And so that'll create your first, what would you call it? Kind of like an insert. So your first insert, and then you'll repeat the same thing for the second hinge. Again, you'll use an 8.5 by 6 piece of paper, and you will use 2, fold it in half, and adhere those to the second hinge, and that'll make the pages for the second insert. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now, and then I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I've added my glue to this hinge right here. I've got my 8.5 by 6 folded in half, and I'm gonna attach that to the hinge. And then I'm gonna attach my second piece, 8.5 by 6 folded in half, attach that on the opposite side of the hinge, and just make sure they're lined up. Give it a little press to make sure that adhesive goes right in. Oh, I just opened it, sorry. And let that dry a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the second hinge right here. So see how that's already created for the first insert, the first 4 pages, and I'll do that for this as well. And then these 2 pieces that you have adhered to the hinge, like I said, this is where you want to decide where you want your opening to be, or if you even want an opening. It can be at the top, it can be at the side, or you can just glue these together and close it off. I do want a center pocket. So I will be adhering these 2 pages right here on the top and bottom of the page. So I just added a thin layer of glue, and I will close that up. So that gives me my first page. This is my second page, my center pocket, third page, and fourth page. And that all is on the first hinge. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process for the second hinge, and I will be right back. So that is the base of your book, you guys. It's really, really simple. We have the base, we have it lined, and we have our 2 inserts in the middle that create all these pages on a hidden hinge binding. So again, I have that first page, my pocket, let's see, my center pocket here, the following page, and then we start with the second insert, and it's a page, a center pocket, and then the final page. And I have already cut up the paper, as you saw at the beginning of this, and then just be really careful when you're folding it, you know, not to rip your paper. Kind of just try to massage the creases in slowly, but it will all come together. I still haven't decided what kind of closure I want. I don't even know if I want a closure. I'm thinking maybe little straps, but I have cut out the mats that I want to use to mat this album and mat all the pages, and I can't remember. Oh, here they are. So for the front and back cover, you will need 2 7 3/8 by 6 1/8 pieces of paper. So it's 7 3/8 by 6 1/8. And that's what the measurement that I came up with to leave that little border. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of dark in here. To leave that little border all the way across. You're going to see that black peering out in front of it. And I left the cover really simple. It's just going to have this 3x4 cut apart with some lining on it and some stitching. And that's going to be in the front as the for the cover. And then, like I've said, I still haven't decided on a closure, so I might add little straps on it later, but I'll show you that in the other video. And then for the spine, you're going to need a 3/8 by 6 1/8 piece of paper. So 3/8 by 6 1/8. And basically what I did is just go down 1/8 to leave that little border all the way across, all the way around it. I like to see that black peering out, so that's going to go here, and then this will be in the back. And so I created this little pocket right here so that I can stick, you know, maybe if I'm going to give this away, I can stick a little ghosty in here or some ephemera. I thought it would be cute to have a little something, you know, peering out of here. Definitely not this chipboard, but this is just an idea for you since I have it on my desk. You know, something like that peering out. I thought that would be really cute, so I did go ahead and leave that pocket. And then I did stitching all the way around. Let me just paper clip this to that. Oops. I caught a paper on here. Okay. And then for the inside of the book, I also have that ready. And these measure 4 3/8 by 6. And so that's going to go on the inside cover, front and back. Like so. And then we can start to cover up our pages and create our pages. So what I've done for this first one, this mat, the mat that you're going to need for each page, the size will be 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. So 4 1/8 by 5 7/8 long. And this is the paper I chose for my first page. That'll go on here. I would have matted these pages before gluing them down, but because I wanted to show you the process and the measurements and share with you all of that, I didn't do that first. But I would suggest, you know, matting all these layers, putting all these pages, putting everything on that you want to put on, and then adhere them to the hinges. I think that would make it much easier. So that's the mat for this side. And then I have this mat for this side. And again, all of these measure the same measurement, 4 1/8 by 7 1/8. So these are the mats for all the pages that I've selected. On this page right here, okay, so on this page right here, I did add a pocket and I gave it like a little torn effect. I thought that looked cute. And so again, the same measurement as all the mats, but this little pocket measures 5 3/8 by 3 1/2, and I just scored it on 3 sides at a 1/2 inch, and that's going to create that pocket. Again, you just score it on the 3 sides, so the 2 sides and the bottom, because you don't need a score for the top. That's going to be your pocket. So that is going to go on this page right here. Then you have your center pocket here, and behind that you have another mat and another pocket, same measurements. And I just folded it on the back like that, and that's how I'll be adhering it to the base. This page goes here, and behind it I'll have this one. And I did some stitching on these pages already, so you still see all the little, I haven't cut off any of those threads yet. And so that is our first insert. Now for the very first page, I did want to create that flap that Amy created on the one that she sent to me. So the measurement for this is 3 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I scored it at the top. Make sure that you're looking at your paper, especially if it's patterned, and scoring it on the right side. So for this paper, I scored it at the top at a 1/2 inch. Then for the base, because like I do want that matte effect, I still want that black to be showing through on all of my pages. So I did a 3 5/8 by 5 1/8, and that is going to go attached to this. I'll have these two are going to be glued together. Let me show you real quick. Let's see, where's my glue gun? So since I've shared the measurement with you, it's 3 5/8 by 5 1/8, and I will put a little piece of glue on here and attach that to this flap. And again, I'm just eyeballing it and trying to give it a little border, a little black border that peers out through all the sides. And then this little flap that I've created, this 1/2 inch piece of paper, will go attached to the back of my first mat, like so. So let me glue that on here. Again, just kind of trying to place it in the center. And that's going to create that little flap. So when I adhere it to my page, I will adhere it like this, and this piece won't be visible, and it won't add extra bulk on the inside of that pocket. So it'll just be like that. And that is how you assemble your first insert. You would repeat that same process for the second insert. And I will do that right now. I'll put them on here, and just so you can get a look at it, I have it all ready for you again. It's all of those mats for the first page. You're going to do the same thing if you want to have that little flap. And again, I'm going to be linking the video that Amy followed below. I still haven't watched it, so I don't know what it's like, but this is how I assembled mine. And it worked. It was pretty simple. Then I just matted my pages the same way. Same measurements for the second insert. I forgot to add a pocket to this one, because for that little center, for this pocket right here, the page in the front and the page behind it has a pocket. I forgot to add one here, but that's okay. I can do that later. And then this one does have a pocket right here. So that goes there. This is going to go here, and this will go here. So let me do a quick flip through. This is the front, the spine, the back side. You'll open it up. And this will be the inside cover. And then this is the first page. This flaps up. Second page right here. Third page right here, and this will have a little pocket, just super cute. This page right here will have this center pocket right here. On the back side, another pocket, a page, and a page. That's your first insert. Then we'll start with the second one. Same thing, flap, page, page. This should have a pocket right here. This has a pocket in the center of it, a pocket in the back, page, page, and back cover. And that is how you assemble this mini album. I hope that makes sense for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and make sure to watch the hop video so that I can show you the decorated finished product. And I will also be sharing this little mini album that I created, so make sure to go by and check that out as well. And don't forget to check the links down below as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this made sense. Again, it is so hard for me because I really just eyeball things and I'm not really good with measurements, but I hope that this helps. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.